Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you can tell from the title, I am going to be talking about common misconceptions about going natural. So I am a part of a sorority and we have a group chat, and I went ahead and asked my line sisters because more than half of us are natural and we still have some who aren't. So I feel like that was a good group to communicate this to, because unlike last video where I talked about commonly asked questions about natural hair, make sure you check that out if you haven't already. I was like, instead of just looking at questions on the internet, let me go ahead and ask like my sisters who are going natural or maybe already natural, you know, just some thoughts. Let me read y'all the question. Let's just start there. Well, before I go ahead and get into this video, let me go ahead and shout out my sorority sister, since I'm already talking about my sorority sisters, who also has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna make sure to write that across the screen, but make sure you subscribe to Danny the Icon, her YouTube channel, where she talks about her journey. Right now she's going to be a new mother, as well as her channel really focuses on makeup for beginners and, you know, just being your true self. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to her channel. Let's go ahead and support one another. So I'm gonna have that written across the screen, so go make sure you subscribe to her channel. Okay, so this is the question that I proposed to my sorority sisters. I said, hey ladies, I was thinking about doing a YouTube video on common misconceptions about natural hair. Like, I don't want to go natural because of XYZ. And just reading my text message. Does anyone have any questions, or can you just describe your hesitations about going natural? If you are natural, can you think about the moment you decided to go natural? What were your hesitations? So that was a question I presented, and if any of you guys are watching, thank you so much for responding and giving me the tea. So, you know, I learned a lot, and it definitely sparked so many other videos just off their responses. So stay tuned, because I'm pretty much going to turn this into a series, because it's just so much that I was like, I haven't even touched on a lot of this on my channel, because, you know, it's just, I have so many ideas and I just like write them down and go with that. So based off everything that was said, I have 7 that was like common, you know, just based on what they said. You know, it might have been worded differently, but it was all the same kind of concern. So the first misconception with going natural, I had to rewrite some of their answers because it almost was starting to turn into like why you shouldn't go natural. So it made it perfect as to like, this is what they thought, or maybe this is what everyone was putting out there, but this is the reality type thing. So the first misconception is that you have to do your hair every day. Like, you absolutely do not have to do your hair every day. I think natural hair is so versatile. That's what makes it so amazing, because with like straight hair, I feel like you just get one style, and that's just what you have to maintain for like however long. But with natural hair, like, you can literally do protective styles that can last you all week long. Like, you can do a twist out or a braid out. Like, you know, once you learn it, it definitely should be a hairstyle that you can put in your hair, like twist, anything like that, that you don't even have to touch. Like, you just have to do it that first day, and then you just wear your hair like that for the rest of the week. Like, you do not have to do your hair every day. And sis, if you doing your hair every day, we need to talk, because that's not healthy. Like, there's no reason for every single day that you're going in doing like a full out routine. If you mean like putting your hair up in a ponytail, you can even still keep that very low maintenance to where you can give yourself a bomb bun on the first day and literally like wrap your hair up like when you go to sleep. That bun can last for 3 days. I mean, you don't want to keep your hair that tight in a style for too long because it makes your scalp itch, but even 3 days is better than, you know what I mean, doing your hair every single day. So that's definitely a misconception. You do not have to do your hair every day. Even wash, if you do like me, like I feel like I'm the queen of wash and goes, because that's pretty much 75% of the time that's how you're gonna see my hair. And I do that, I do the whole process in one day, and I can keep my, I don't have to really refresh or do anything for at least the first 3 days before I go back in and start messing with it a little more. So definitely you do not have to do your hair every single day. Find a style that works for you. For me, it's the wash and go. If you like twist outs or braid outs, focus on that. Do it once a week. And braid out and twist outs are bomb because you can turn that into 2 hairstyles. You can literally rock your twist or your braids for maybe like the first 2 to 3 days and then wear it like take out your twist, take down your braids, and now you got a whole nother style that can stretch your hair even longer. So you do not have to do your hair every day to be natural. The next thing was that you have to do the big chop to go natural. I can speak, you know, from my own personal testimony that I did not do the big chop. I literally let my hair transition. It was tough because like the roots, as your roots grow in, it's natural and you have permed ends. So your hair looks pretty crazy. So during that time, you definitely have to do protective hairstyles because you cannot perform a wash and go because your permed ends do not know what wash and go. They don't know what that is. So they're not going to cooperate where your roots are flourishing and your ends are going to look crazy. So it's just a learning process. You just do protective hairstyles. I know a lot of women who go natural, if they just transition and don't do the big chop, they do like, they'll get a sew-in, they'll do, you know, box braids, just some type of hairstyle to where their hair can grow out on its own and you don't even know. Like, you don't even know that they're going natural because they wear so many protective hairstyles. Me, I didn't do that. I literally wore my natural hair and I just rocked with it. I did plaits, and if it wanted to cooperate, it did. If it didn't, I put my hair in a ponytail, buns. Like, I just made it work. But you do not have to do the big chop. If you're the type of person who cannot deal with that craziness, because your hair will be 2 different textures. Like, that's a given. There's no way around that because your roots that are coming in are not permed. They're your natural hair, so it's not going to match your permed ends. So if you don't want the world to see that as you're transitioning, then just get protective hairstyles. But you definitely do not have to do the big chop. Like, that is not like the only way to go natural. You definitely just, you know, you can transition. I did it. It took me, mine was a little exaggerated because I was scared to trust people to cut my ends. So if you're anything like me, it can get a little bit exaggerated. But if not, you know, as your hair grows in, you just cut off the permed ends. And before you know it, your whole head will be natural. And then you can embrace that beautifulness that comes with your natural hair journey. But you don't have to do the big chop. That's not the only way to go natural. So that is definitely, that's a big common misconception because it's not true. Hold on. Okay, guys. I'm back. I had to like interrupt the video because my son was having a moment. If you're a mother, then you understand. Okay, so another thing is that another common misconception is just because you're transitioning that every protective style will work for your hair. Like, even as I'm fully natural, like, that's still a misconception. Just because you're natural doesn't mean that every twist out, like every bantu knot, like type hairstyle or like braid out is gonna look bomb on your hair. So it's like, we just need to understand that it's like, especially when you're transitioning, because your hair is doing a lot, like it's stressed and it's going through a lot, you know. Like, I feel like when you're transitioning, what I noticed when I used to try to do like a twist out is that the part that was permed did well, like it looked good, but like the natural part of my hair always was a bit frizzy, so it just still never looked put together. Like, I think that's the main thing. Like, with natural hair, people still want to feel like they look put together, and sometimes with protective hairstyles you just never felt that way because, one, it wouldn't look that way, or two, you couldn't keep it consistent. Like, one time you could do a twist out and you're like, okay, and you finally getting a little faith in it, a little faith in the hairstyle, and then the next time you try to do it, it's like, what went wrong? So that's a misconception that just because you're transitioning, you can do whatever protective hairstyle and then it's still going to look good. It may not be the case. Like I said when I was talking about the second misconception, like you may have to do like some sew-ins or like braid your hair, just like completely hide your hair while it's trying to go through this process. Sometimes you just see so much information out there that can be a little bit misleading. That's why I think I'm doing this video, just to give you the honest truth. I want you to start your natural hair journey if you haven't already, but I'm just going to give you the truth because I've been there, and I don't think it makes sense to send you on this journey and not give you the truth. The truth is that while you're transitioning, you could try to do these different type of hairstyles and your hair still may look crazy, because mine did. So you may have to make that decision. If you want to just chop it all off, I'm not saying you have to, but if that's what works for you, a lot of women, it's like, I'm not dealing with all of that. So they just want to cut it all off, or you can just hide it and, you know, wear a wig, wear a sew-in, or do like any other type of braided hairstyle. It's up to you. Just putting it out there that just because you're transitioning and your hair is in that state does not mean that all the protective hairstyles are going to look good. The next common misconception is that natural hair is easier than permed hair. I'm trying to think back, like when I had permed hair, like I didn't do much to it. Like when I went and got a flat iron, like from the hair shop, or if my mom would flat iron my hair, I didn't really have to touch it after that. Like the extent of the maintenance to my hair would be to wrap it. That is not the case with natural hair. You definitely have to put a little more effort. I think like your natural hair journey is totally up to you. It depends on how much effort you're willing to put into this. Like how far are you willing to go to make sure that your hair is healthy and thriving? It is not easier than permed hair, because permed hair is like, you don't have to do much to it. Whereas natural hair, you know, our hair is naturally dry. So this whole process of constantly putting moisture back into your hair, to some people can be daunting. It feels like, why do I have to keep doing all of this? So it's definitely not easier than permed hair. I don't think maintaining natural hair is hard, but when you're comparing the two, natural hair, you do have to work a little harder than you have to with permed hair, because it just doesn't require anything. Like once you get it styled, you can leave it like that for a little period of time before you have to come back and do anything. So it's definitely a common misconception. I'm just moving through all of these, guys, because I have 7 of them, and y'all know how I get long-winded. Video be like 30 minutes, so if it seems like I'm speeding through it, I'm not. I'm just giving you the tea and moving on. So, oh my God, this is a call I've been waiting on all day. Please hold. Okay, guys. I promise you, we gonna get there, because I'm struggling to get through this video. Like, what's going on? Okay, so where was I? That natural hair is non-expensive. I think it depends on how you look at it. Like, I think the world we live in, just to maintain anything, it just feels like it's expensive. Like when you buy all your hygiene products, like you got to do that every so often. If you're like a makeup lover, like every time products run out, you got to repurchase that. Like it just depends on how you look at it. Like I have a budget for natural hair each month, because I know that I'm natural and I know that I'm a product junkie. Like if you're not a product junkie, then you don't need to buy as many products as I do. You can literally have 6 products, because you need a shampoo, a conditioner, a deep conditioner, a leave-in conditioner, and stylers. Like you can have like 6 products in your collection and work with that, and then as one product runs out, repurchase it. Like, everything doesn't have to be high end. I do a lot of videos on my channel where like drugstore products that are super cheap, like $6 to $7, that work so well. So to me, it just depends on how you look at it. But I understand where that thought comes from, because sometimes it can take a while to find those products that work for you. So in that journey of trying all these different products, it can get expensive, because you bought this product, it doesn't work. Now I have to throw it away or give it away, try a different product. So in that sense, it can feel like it's expensive. But I promise, once you start finding those products that work, it's not as expensive, because you literally will have a certain product for weeks. Now, deep conditioners, for me, most of the time I have a product, it'll last like 2 weeks and I have to repurchase it. But like stylers, shampoos, even conditioners last like months before I have to repurchase. So to me, honestly, it is not as expensive as permed hair. Like, for if you know how to do your own hair, then I feel like permed hair is like, I mean, it's not a big deal. But I didn't know how to flat iron my own hair. I still don't know how to flat iron my own hair because it's just not something I do enough to like hone the skills or figure out the products. Like, I'm sure if I put my mind to it, I could do it, but it's just not something that I do enough. So I'm not, yeah, I don't know how to straighten my own hair. So that means every time I want my hair straightened, I have to go get it done. Just like last December was when the last time I got my hair straightened, or it might have been November, because normally each year I get my hair straightened for my birthday. It cost me like $70 to get my hair straightened, and it lasts like a month, if that. Like, that is a collection of natural products, that I just spent for one hairstyle. Like, to me, permed hair is more expensive, and that's just straightened hair. Like, if you go to the shop to get all these different hairstyles, from what I know, most people go get their hair done like every Friday or maybe every other Friday. All of the hairstyles, like the weaves and all of that, can add up. To me, it's more expensive to maintain permed hair than natural hair. That's why I said it's just how you look at it, because to me, I don't think it's very expensive. And if anything, like, it levels out. It's just two different type of ways to maintain your hair. Like, to me, it's the same. So the next common misconception is that, like what I was just talking about, that you don't have to go through this process of trial and error before you find those products that work for your hair. Even to this day, like, I still go through trial and error. Like, especially as companies come out with new products, you don't know if that product's going to work because you've never used it. You've never heard about it. Like, no one knows anything about this company. So you take that risk of, let me try this product. And if it doesn't work, then you just wasted your money. But now you know, like, I'm never going to use that product again. But that's a common misconception. Like, you definitely have to try out products to see what works best for your hair texture. You're not just going to always get a win every time you try a product. I don't get a win every time. There are plenty of products that I still have sitting in my cabinet that will never be used because I tried it and I was like, this ain't it. So you definitely need to go in with the mindset that you're going to have to try a lot of different hair companies' products to figure out what's going to work. You're not just going to get it all on the first, like, you try a product and everything's just A1 and we in here, like, it's not always going to be like that. I mean, I feel like once you start to understand your hair texture, like, you'll know what products, you just know. You're going to be like, no, that never works, or my hair, it always makes my hair flake. Like, once you learn your hair, like, going natural and like doing hairstyles gets easier. I'm not saying that it's always perfect. It's called a journey for a reason, because you just learning. You learning about yourself, you learning about your hair. It's just a process. You just got to be willing to give it a chance. Like, it does get frustrating between trying to transition and now I'm fully natural. Now I'm trying to figure out the products. It's just a journey. But I promise, once you get there, you're going to love your curls and you're just going to be happy that you made the decision in the first place. So the last misconception is that natural hair is not low maintenance, or that it's time consuming. Like, to me, that is so subjective, because it depends on, like, how do you define low maintenance? Because to me, natural hair is low maintenance. You sit here and do your whole routine in one day, whether it's a wash and go routine, you're going to do your protective styling. Like, that day of, it may feel daunting that you've just spent 3.5 hours or so doing your hair, but now you know for the rest of the week that you don't have to touch it. Like, you don't have to do anything with it, because all of the work that you did on day one. To me, that's low maintenance. Knowing that I can do one hairstyle, do all the work one day, and then for the rest of the week, I don't have to touch it unless maybe I want to add some moisture, like with a leave-in conditioner, or put oil to my scalp. That is low maintenance. Like, time consuming would just be on wash day. After that, you don't have to do anything. Like, even if you do have to refresh, that is nowhere near as time consuming as day one. So to me, natural hair is very low maintenance and it's not time consuming. But to me, it just it's subjective. It's how you look at it. It may feel time consuming because on that first day you have to do so much work. But if you look at it in the long run, you got so much going on during the week. It's nice to know that your hair is not one of those priorities because you've already done it for the week. So guys, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you because you made it through the end of the video with all my interruptions. I hope this video was very helpful. I'm going to be putting out more videos like this, so stay tuned. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my other video on my channel that's already like this, where I talk about frequently asked natural hair care questions. So make sure after this video, you go ahead and watch that one. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.